We waited to find out if it was going to be a boy or a girl, and just I can't tell you how exciting it was just to find out that I was a dad and that I had a son, and just instantly this whole world of responsibility and just depends on you for everything. It's incredible. It's really it's an amazing feeling. There's not a day that my son doesn't crack me up. He just from the second I found out Lauren was pregnant, he's always been there. He's just been with us. Time is everything to me. And every last bit of it I can get to myself and with my family, I'll take with both hands. It is the most invaluable resource that I could ever get my hands on, and it's got to balance out. And it's funny because after a couple days of being off of work, I think about going back to work. I think about being back on the truck and doing my job. And after a couple days of work, of course, it's the same thing. I want to be right back here with my family. So it's always a healthy tug and pull there. It's a balance to try and satisfy both worlds, I guess. And of course, the family thinks I should always be here, and the job thinks I should always be there. So keeping everybody happy also can be challenging. We're called to fix things. When people have lost control of a situation, when people don't know how to handle things, they call us. And sometimes there's just not an answer to a situation, or sometimes the answer can be unfortunate, and having to tell that to people always weighs heavily. It's something that you try not to take home with you, but it's always there.
I mostly worry about just silly stuff like something not going as planned. Not necessarily what he's doing, but variables that aren't really planned for. I still have that idea of ambulances running through red lights to get there in a hurry, even though I know that's not how it goes. And then somebody running a light or not hearing the sirens and running into them. That and our own son being in an accident, and he's the one that responded to it. Just the emotional impact of that alone. That was rough.
I wouldn't say afraid, but I've developed a very real sense of how dangerous driving is. We do this all day long of people running their cars into everything. Each other, into trees, into poles, off the road, anything you could imagine. And if there's anything that I could ever just make a difference in, it would make people realize how terrifyingly destructive it can be to drive a car, and what the results of just a moment of not paying attention can be. He had been in a car accident on Sessom. It's the furthest that my heart has ever sank down into my stomach, for certain. There's just no words to really tell what that's like when you find out that your child's been hurt. This is why they train just that mechanical, just that repetitive motion of all of our skills, because you have to be able to do it in the dead of sleep at 4 o'clock in the morning, getting pulled out of bed to go to work. The burnout is real because of that. It takes a lot of people. It takes a big toll on your personal life. Coming home without any sleep and having to manage to get kids ready, get them off to school, and still be in a good mood and take care of everybody, it's challenging.